Hello everyone, welcome back to another CDL video. This is CDL air brake test. I'm sure you have cleared the general knowledge and the other tests. So, again I want to say that if you review this video 3 times, at least 3 times, you will definitely clear the test. So, let's begin with this session today. The brake system that applies and releases the brakes when the driver uses the brake pedal is what system? A. Emergency system. B. Service system. Or C. Parking system. Well, the brake system that applies and releases the brakes when the driver uses the brake pedal is the service system. The correct answer is B. It is a part of the service system. The air loss rate for a straight truck or bus with the engine off and the brakes on should not be more than what? A. 1 psi in 1 minute. B. 2 psi in 45 seconds. Or 3 psi in 1 minute. The correct answer is the air loss rate for a straight truck or bus when the engine off and the brakes on should not be more than 3 psi in 1 minute. So the correct answer is C. 3 psi in 1 minute. The most common type of foundation brake found on heavy vehicles is A. Wedge brake, B. S-cam drum brake, or C. Disc brake. The correct answer is that the most common type of foundation brake found on a heavy vehicle is the S-cam drum brake. The correct answer is B. S-cam drum brake. If air pressure does not build up to the normal within the correct amount of time, A. You should be ready to use the parking brake to stop. B. The alcohol container may be low. Or C. The air pressure may drop to low while driving, requiring an emergency to stop. The correct answer is C. If the air pressure does not build up to normal within the correct amount of time, your air pressure may be dropped to low while driving, requiring an emergency stop. The driver must be able to see a low air pressure warning that comes on before pressure in the tanks fall below what? A. 40 psi, B. 60 psi, C. 80 psi. The correct answer is the driver must be able to see a low pressure warning that must come on before pressure in the tanks that fall below 60 psi. The correct answer is B. 60 psi. The proper method of braking when going down hills is to reduce your speed by how much miles per hour below your safe speed before releasing the brakes? A. 5 miles per hour, B. 10 miles per hour, or C. 15 miles per hour. The correct answer is 5 miles per hour. A slack adjuster probably needs adjustment if it moves more than how much inch when you pull on it? A. 3 inch, B. Half inch, C. 1 inch. The correct answer is C. A slack adjuster probably needs adjustment if it moves more than 1 inch when you pull on it. The correct answer is C. 1 inch. The air brake lag at 55 miles per hour adds how many feet of stopping distance? A. 12 feet, B. 32 feet, or C. 60 feet. The correct answer is the air brake lag at 55 miles per hour adds 32 feet of stopping distance. Under ideal conditions, a truck with air brakes going 55 miles per hour would require a stopping distance of what? A. Less than 100 feet, B. 100 to 300 feet, or C. More than 300 feet. The correct answer is it will require a stopping distance of more than 300 feet. If the spring brakes are on, when should you push the brake pedal? A. Only when driving it down a hill, only on a slippery road, or C. Never. You should never push the brake pedal. The correct answer is never. You should never push the brake pedal if the spring brakes are on. Emergency stop braking is when you A. Press hard on the brake pedal and use the hand valve until you stop. B. Use light steady pressure on the pedal. Or C. Brake as hard as you can, release the brakes when the wheels lock, and apply the brakes again when the wheels roll. The correct answer is that emergency stop braking is braking as hard as you can, releasing the brakes when the wheels lock, and applying the brakes again when the wheels are rolling. Air brakes take more time to stop than hydraulic brakes because A. Air brakes use a different drum. B. Air takes more time to flow through the lines than hydraulic fluid. C. Air brakes require a heavier return spring. The correct answer is air takes more time to flow through the lines than hydraulic fluid. That is the reason why air brakes take more time to stop than hydraulic brakes. If your truck has a dual air system and one system is low on air pressure, A. The drums will not be fully pressurized. B. Either the front or rear brakes will not be operating fully. C. The manual slide adjusters are not set properly. The correct answer is B. If your truck has dual air system and one system is on low pressure, either the front or the rear brakes will not be operating fully. The supply pressure gauge shows how much pressure the pressure is in your tanks, the pressure you have used on the trip, or the pressure is going to the brake chamber. The correct answer is, it shows how much pressure is in the air tanks. So the correct answer is A. The pressure in the air tanks. The brake pedal in an air brake system. A. Controls the speed of the air compressor. B. Controls the air pressure applied to put on the brakes. C. Is connected to slack adjusters by a series of rods and linkages. The correct answer is that the brake pedal in an air brake system controls the air pressure applied to put on the brakes. The correct answer is B. It controls the air pressure. The air compressor should stop pumping at what psi? A. 100 psi. B. 125 psi. Or C. 150 psi. The correct answer is the air compressor should stop pumping at 125 psi. In air brake vehicles, the parking brake should be used A. As little as possible. B. Anytime the vehicle is parked. Or C. To hold your speed going down hills. The correct answer is the parking brakes can be used anytime the vehicle is parked. The correct answer is B. Anytime the vehicle is parked. Excessive heat caused by using your brakes too often can cause the A. Modulation control valve to wear out. B. Brake lines to plug. C. Brakes to fade or fail. The correct answer is excessive heat caused by using your brakes too often can cause the brakes to fade or fail. If your truck's compressor has its own oil supply, when should you first check the oil level? A. Before driving. B. During your first en-route inspection. Or C. Immediately after stopping. The correct answer is before driving. You should check the oil level before driving. Under normal conditions, in order to engage the parking brake, the driver must first A. Turn off the engine. B. Let the air out of the system. C. Be sure that the system is fully pressurized. The correct answer is, under normal conditions, in order to engage the parking brake, the driver must let the air out of the system first. The correct answer is B. To let the air out of the system. Use of brakes on a long or a steep downgrade is only a supplement to A. The use of spring brakes. B. It is a supplement to the use of the front brake limiting valve, or it is a supplement to the braking effect of the engine? The correct answer is the supplement to the braking effect of the engine. So the correct answer is C, the braking effect of the engine. Cracks in the drum cannot be longer than the width of the friction area. A, 2, B, half, or C, 1/3. The correct answer is half the width of the friction area. Excessive use of the service brakes results in overheating, which can lead to A, improper adjustment of the S-cam, B, increased contact between the drum and shoes, C, expansion of the brake drum. The correct answer is it can lead to expansion of the brake drum. How often should you drain the water and oil from your air tanks? A, every 4 hours. B, at the end of each day of driving. C, once a week. I think the correct answer is at the end of each day of driving, you should drain the water and oil from your air tanks. So the correct answer is B, at the end of the day. Modern air brakes combine 3 different systems: the service, parking, and what brakes? A, emergency brakes, B, foot brakes, or C, the S-cam brakes. The modern air brake combines 3 different systems: the service, the parking, and the emergency brakes. The correct answer is the emergency brakes. All brake-equipped vehicles must have what? A, supply pressure gauge, B, an application gauge, C, a backup hydraulic system. The correct answer is that all air brake-equipped vehicles must have a supply pressure gauge. So the correct answer is a supply pressure gauge. If your vehicle has an alcohol evaporator, every day during cold weather you should A, check and fill the alcohol level, B, change the alcohol from a new bottle, or C, check the oil for alcohol content. The correct answer is you should check and fill the alcohol level every day during cold weather. The correct answer is A, check and fill the alcohol level. The safety valve is set automatically to reduce pressure in the tanks at what psi? A, 50 psi, B, 100 psi, or C, 150 psi. The correct answer is that the safety valve will set to automatically reduce the pressure in the tanks at 150 psi. So the correct answer is C, 150 psi. A straight truck or bus system should not leak at rate of more than how much psi per minute with the engine off and the brakes released? A, 1 psi, B, 2 psi, or C, 3 psi. The correct answer is 2 psi. The correct answer is 2 psi per minute with the engine off and the brakes released. Which of these is not the proper time to apply the parking brakes? A, if the brakes are very hot. B, if you will only be stopped for less than 15 minutes. C, if you're going to test the parking brake to make sure that it holds. The correct answer is if the brakes are already hot, it is not a proper time to apply the parking brakes. The correct answer is A, if the brakes are very hot, you should not apply the parking brakes. If your truck has properly functioning dual air system, the pressure should build from 85 psi to 100 psi in how long? A, 30 seconds, B, 45 seconds, or C, 60 seconds? The correct answer is the pressure should build from 85 psi to 100 psi in 45 seconds. The modulating control valve allows you to operate A. The spring brakes. B. The front brakes. Or C. The amount of air pressure in the system. The correct answer is the modulation control valve allow you to operate the spring brakes. A. The correct answer is A. Spring brakes. If your truck or bus has dual parking control valve, you can pressure from under the tank to A. Release the spring brakes to move the vehicle in an emergency. B. Apply more pressure in the main tank is getting low. Or C. Balance the service brake system whenever you are parked. The correct answer is A. It releases the spring brakes to move the vehicle in an emergency. Total stopping distance for air brakes is longer than hydraulic because A. Brake lag. B. Reaction. C. Effective braking. The correct answer, or the correct reason, must be D. A. Brake lag. Air pressure takes time to brake, and hydraulic, there's a slight difference in timing. That's why brake lag is the reason. You should know that your brakes are fading when A. You have to push harder and harder on the brake pedal to control your speed. B. The brake pedal feels spongy when the pressure is applied. C. Pressure on the pedal is the release and you slow down. The correct answer is you should know that your brakes are fading when you have to push harder and harder on the brake pedal to control your speed. Parking or emergency brakes of trucks and buses can be legally held on by what? A. Spring pressure. B. Fluid pressure. Or C. Air pressure. The correct answer is the spring pressure. The parking or emergency brakes of trucks and buses can be legally held on by the spring pressure. Correct answer is A. Spring pressure. The stop light switch. A. Turns on the brake lights to warn others behind you. B. Tells you when you need to use the emergency brakes. Or C. Tells you when the air system is low on air. The correct answer is the stop light switch turns on the brake lights to warn others behind you. To check the free play of manual slack adjusters on S-cam brakes, you should park on A. Level ground, chop wheels, and release the parking brakes. B. You should park on level ground with the parking brakes, then apply the service brake. Or C. You should park on level ground and drain off the air pressure before adjusting brakes. The correct answer is you should park on level ground, chop the wheels, and release the parking brakes. A. The correct answer is A. If your ABS is not working, you should A. Not drive until the system is repaired. B. Drive normally, but get the system serviced soon. C. Drive at a lower speed and get the system repaired whenever you want. The correct answer is that you can drive normally, but you should get the system serviced soon. Your ABS is not working, you should get it serviced. Plan to drive normally. Which of the following about ABS is true? A. ABS changes the way you brake in an emergency. B. ABS allows you to follow more closely, drive faster, and less carefully. C. ABS will not help you avoid skids from over braking. The true statement is A. ABS changes the way you brake in an emergency. Some air brake systems have an alcohol evaporator. What might happen if you don't keep the unit filled with alcohol? What will happen if that evaporator doesn't fill with alcohol? A. The S-cam may now rotate back when you release the pedal. B. Ice may form in the tanks and cause the brakes to fail. C. Ice may form the drums and warp them. The correct answer is B. Ice may form in the tanks and cause the brakes to fail, as we saw. Cause the brakes to fail. If your vehicle has an alcohol evaporator, it is there to A. To get rid of the wet tank of alcohol that collects and sits at the bottom. B. Eliminate the need for daily tank draining. Or C. Reduce the risk of ice in valves and other parts in the cold weather. The correct answer is C. It is there to reduce the risk of ice in valves and other parts in cold weather. During normal driving, spring brakes are usually held back by A. Bullets, C. Air pressure, or C. Spring pressure. During normal driving, the spring brakes are usually held back by the air pressure in the brakes. So the correct answer is B. The air pressure. The application pressure gauge shows how much pressure. A. The pressure you have in the tanks. B. The pressure you are applying on the brakes. Or C. The pressure you have in the modulation control valve. Well, the correct answer is B. The pressure you are applying to the brakes. Emergency control braking is when you A. Apply the brakes as hard as you can without locking the wheels. B. Brake as hard as you can and release the brakes when the wheels lock. Or C. Apply the hand valve as hard as you can, then push the pedal. So the emergency control braking is when you apply the brakes as hard as you can without locking the wheels. That is emergency control braking. So the correct answer is A. Applying the brakes as hard as you can without locking the wheels. The S-cam controls the flow of air into each brake chamber. The S-cam pulls the brake shoes away from. Or C. The S-cam drums and allows the wheel to roll freely, forces the brakes shoes to the drums. The correct answer is that the S-cam drums and allows the wheels to roll freely, forces the brake shoes to the drums. Shift to the drums. If a truck or bus has ABS, it will have a what color malfunction lamp on the instrument panel? A. Red, B. Yellow, C. Green. The correct answer is a yellow malfunction lamp on the instrument panel. The spring brakes on your trucks will bring it to a stop automatically when air pressure falls to our range. A. 20 to 45 psi. B. 60 to 80 psi. Or C. 100 to 125 psi. The correct answer is the spring brakes on the trucks will bring to a stop automatically when air pressure falls to 20 to 45 psi range. If you are driving down a steep downgrade and you have reached your safe speed of 40 miles per hour, you should apply the service brakes until your speed reaches what? A. 25 miles per hour, B. 30 miles per hour, or C. 35 miles per hour. The correct answer is 35 miles per hour. You should apply the service brakes until your speed reaches 35 miles per hour. So the correct answer is C. 35 miles per hour. How should you check that your service brakes are working properly? A. Park on a slight incline, drain off pressure, and check for movement. B. Park on level ground, release the parking brakes, roll forward slowly, and apply the brakes using the pedal. The correct answer is you should check that your service brakes are working properly by parking on the level ground, releasing the parking brakes, rolling forward slowly, and applying the brakes using the pedal. If you must make an emergency stop, use your brake so you can use the hand brakes before the pedal. You can keep your vehicle in a straight line and turn it if it becomes necessary. Or you can use the full power of the brakes to lock them. The correct answer is you brake so you can keep your vehicle in a straight line and turn if it becomes necessary. For air brake system in good condition, the air compressor should start pumping at what psi? A. 100 psi, B. 125 psi, or C. 150 psi. The correct answer is that the compressor should start pumping at 100 psi. The correct answer is A. 100 psi. The braking power of the spring brakes. A. Is not affected by the condition of the service brakes. B. It depends on the brakes being in adjustment. C. Increases when the service brakes get hot. The correct answer is B. The braking power of the spring brakes depends on the brakes being in adjustment. The most important thing to do when the low air pressure warning comes on is A. To downshift, B. To turn the warning off, C. Stop and park safely as soon as possible. The correct answer is that you should stop and park safely as soon as possible. You should take warning seriously. So that's it for today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and all the best for your test, and see you later on the next one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.